Everyone's favorite Monster Hunter Mommy Milkers exposed again for refaking her blindfold attempt. Oh no, how will she ever recover? What will she do now? OF. OF definitely. 100% OF.
Last month, the streamer known as Queen Ponsalot pretended to beat the dragon Alatreon wearing a blindfold.
You see? Queen pounds a lot. If that's not the most perfect OF transition in the history of ever, I don't know what is.
This garnered her quite a lot of attention, but when people experienced with the game she was playing and those experienced in blindfold speedrunning saw her video, they realized immediately.
Oh, look at that. It's Asmongold. Man, he ate this right up. He did not even doubt for a second. He saw and Monkey Brain did. It was amazing.
It was fake. Unfortunately, Queen Ponsalot's effort of faking a blindfolded run was extremely poor. Not only was she using strategies that are just flat out impossible to use while blind, but the blindfold she was using was so thin and obviously fake, even we, the viewers, could see straight through it. Soon enough, people were making videos calling out her fake run, and Queen Ponsalot was beginning to get quite a lot of negative attention. As it turns out,
you don't even need to know anything about blindfolded speedruns to tell that this is absolutely fake, by the way.
The public doesn't appreciate liars and people who try to fake gaming accomplishments for clout.
Sussy level 8 out of 10, trying to dodge the first double head swipe which has no audio. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I pointed out. If you watch the footage, it doesn't matter if the thing's transparent, it doesn't matter if there's a second monitor, none of that matters. Like, just the fact that she's dodging attacks that there is literally no audio cue for should tell you everything if you just pay slight attention. Okay? You don't need to understand anything about camera tiltings or any of that. Just the fact that the dragon is standing and then he randomly does a swipe animation and there's no discernible sound. In fact, there's almost no sound whatsoever after the attack already lands. And she just dodges it. No problems whatsoever, just dodges it. That already should prove to, I think, any normal person that she's absolutely 100% faking it.
After receiving backlash, Queen Ponsalot fought back, announcing that she was going to do another blindfolded run of the Dragon Alatreon, but this time with more proof. On the 14th of February, she went live, and she was stacked to the gills with ironclad anti-cheat measurements. This time she wore a genuine blindfold. She had a hand cam, she had input display, she had paper covering up her monitors, and she was live. Surely there was absolutely...
Now, I'm sure most of us are asking the obvious question. Why cover up the monitors, not just, turn them off or, turn them to the other side? That would be kind of easy, not really a big issue, one might even say.
No way she could cheat. And with all of this in place, she did it again. She beat the Dragon Alatreon in front of hundreds of people. She was so convincing that it seemed like everyone now believed she was legit.
But anyway, yeah, it looks like the Altreon blindfold kill was actually real.
I mean, just give a woman for Asmongold to simp for, and my god, will he absolutely, without a second thought, do it without hesitation. The man's just born different, okay? In a bad way. In a really bad way.
It did actually happen.
Maybe we got it wrong. Maybe Queen Ponsalot was just more gifted than everyone else, and she could really do things blindfolded that no one else.
Now, the thing about this is, I said it before, but I'll say it again because some people don't fully understand it or even know about it. It's the fact that someday there's gonna be someone born that is an absolute prodigy in some game that just completely blows everything previously thought to be expected of the game and possible in the game out of the water. And you know what's gonna happen? He's gonna be so better than literally everyone else that he's just gonna get banned because people will assume there is absolutely no way that is possible. But this is obviously not one of those cases.
else could. Or maybe, just maybe, she just cheated again, and we don't know how. Honestly, when I first saw her new successful attempt, I didn't know how she did it. But I did know two things. One, her gameplay was impossible to do blind. And two, people always underestimate the autistic power of speedrunners. I was committed to finding out how this was done. I envisioned sophisticated cheating methods that would be impossible to detect. I figured that whatever Queen Pongelot did must be pretty genius to fool everyone so easily. For 3 days, I meticulously studied her video. I worked with experts to clarify game mechanics. I spoke with programmers to see if we could replicate her run using advanced software, but I was getting nowhere. And then, after
yeah, that sounds about right for something that Carl would actually try out of sheer lunacy.
72 hours of running into dead ends, I finally saw it. I noticed that Queen Pongelot did something that gave everything away. The curtain was lifted, and the magician had exposed her secrets. I had the smoking gun, and within 20 minutes of seeing Queen Pongelot do this one thing, we knew exactly how she did it, and we had the proof. As it turns out, I was on the wrong track the entire time. I thought the method she used must have been smart because no one detected it. But in the end, it turned out to be the simplest and dumbest method I could have imagined.
Does she just have a third monitor?
In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how Queen Pongelot faked her most recent blindfolded takedown of the dragon Elatreon. And I guarantee that you'll be shocked at just how many things she did to try and fool you.
I mean, I don't think this is hard at all, because look at this. You're a suspected cheater. This is you showing that you're blindfolded. Wow, amazing. Then you can see her mouse, you can see her inputs, which is all cool and dandy, but I mean, you don't see anything else here. And if you're suspected of cheating, I kind of want to see pretty much everything, honestly, and then only then I will be happy with what I see.
I really hope you enjoy.
Let's go.
Legends, let's be honest. If you're watching my channel, it's because you are a gigantic nerd.
No, it's because reasons. Oh, look at that. Starforged, overpriced garbage. Nice. Let's skip that, obviously, because we're reasonable people.
Just a really thin, transparent sheet of material to cover her eyes and pretended that she couldn't see. In this case, it was so easy to debunk because everyone can just use their own eyes and see that her blindfold was fake. As far as her gameplay was concerned, it's also really obvious that she can see as well. She claims to use the audio to know exactly where the monster is, but years of blindfolded competition tells us that this is impossible. I also highlighted that beyond knowing where the monster is, it's also impossible to detect whether you are looking up or down. So if you see a blindfolded player using their mouse to look up or down, you know they can see. In her latest attempt, we see all of those impossible gameplay mechanics in action once again, and in some cases, it's even worse. She will access the menu in order to use items and mess up the camera, and then immediately...
I mean, I didn't even notice that she uses that, but I mean, okay.
And perfectly fix it. She even does this when the dragon is not making any sounds at all, so there is quite literally no audio cue, like in this example. Beyond the impossible vertical movement, we also see crazy head tracking in real time that is just laughable. I mean, just look at this gameplay.
The reason that matters, by the way, is because she's using a build that actually is only good if you hit the head. So, yeah. And there's also no automatic lock-on to the head like that.
In the last clip, she is rolling underneath the dragon, keeping the camera on its head perfectly as she does it. It's hilarious. And remember, looking up does nothing. It doesn't let...
I mean, at least she wore the correct clothes for doing things like this. I mean, I'm satisfied just by that.
Let her hit any higher. So there is literally no point in doing this other than to see the head, which makes no sense if you're blindfolded. All of this seems very confusing because she appears to be wearing a proper blindfold. And as I mentioned mentioned before, her monitors are even covered up with paper, meaning that she can't see them anyway. This led me to consider other ways she might be playing without seeing. One way would be some kind of aimbot. Aimbots are common in many games, so it's possible if she had some kind of sophisticated software, it could help her aim on the dragon. This would solve the problem of locating the dragon and also solve the vertical aiming issue. However, this wouldn't solve all of the problems, like being able to dodge attacks that don't have sound cues. In one instance, she accidentally hooks onto Alatreon's leg instead of its head, and immediately releases before targeting the head again. But there is no audible difference between hooking onto the leg or the head, so there is no way she should have known. In order to solve issues like this, I theorized that maybe someone was talking to her and giving her instructions through Discord. With someone in her ear and some aim assist software, you might be able to play like this without sight. I reached out to Monster Hunter World expert TSC, who actually developed the first known aimbot of the game. According to him, if she was using an aimbot to achieve this effect, it would require software far more sophisticated than anyone in the community currently possesses. It seems unlikely that this was the method. The most common theory I saw online was that...
Dude, the fact that you're playing Monster Hunter and you need an aimbot is a bit crazy, not gonna lie, okay?
She was using pre-recorded gameplay. Maybe she beat Alatreon earlier and just played that gameplay footage during her live stream. Something like this has been done before. I even made a video about a speedrunner who cheated by using a pre-recorded run during a live charity marathon. However, I didn't believe this was the case. Queen Ponsalot had 2 cameras and they were both completely in sync. I studied her mouse movements and they always seemed to match what was going on in the game. And so did her keyboard inputs. Her mouse sensitivity was very high, so a lot of movements are hard to see, but I couldn't see any discrepancies. It did appear as though she was actually playing. In my opinion, this also ruled out the idea that someone else was playing instead of her, perhaps by using remote assistance. This is an idea that the YouTuber Abisoft spent some time investigating to see if it could work. But aside from her mouse movements matching her gameplay, latency issues would also be a huge problem. Some people suggest...
I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea how you even matched that, but okay.
Suggested that she was using a magician's blindfold and she could see through it. But this is extremely unlikely. Her blindfold doesn't look like any fake blindfold I could find, and we know what blindfold she has because it was recommended to her. Blindfolded expert Mitris has the exact same one, and it looks exactly the same. One other thing people noticed, and trust me, we noticed this immediately too, is that after Queen Ponsalot killed Alatreon and lifted the paper up, there was something on her screen. And it seemed like she noticed this and moved the paper back down to try and hide it.
I pause it. What is on the screen?
Yeah, you can see something here.
And what is on the thing? Is Monster Hunter on her screen? And then watch what happens. She puts it back down to cover. She's quickly trying to hide it. And then the game comes back up on screen.
This is the Windows Start menu, and the reason it appeared is because she hit the Windows key. In fact, she hits the Windows key multiple times throughout her blindfolded attempts. This bugged the hell out of us, and we had no idea why she was doing it. Could this have something to do with how she was faking her gameplay? At seemingly random times, she would hit the Windows key, which would tap her out of the game. This caused her inputs to stop working. She would then need to hit the escape key to try and get back into the game. Watch this clip where she hits the Windows key and then spends 10 seconds trying to get the game to work again.
Okay. Yeah, I'm confused. I have no idea what's happening, why it's happening.
This is bizarre, and she does this multiple times without ever mentioning it. She acts as if this really weird thing that she is doing isn't happening, which is obviously really suspicious. Ultimately, it seems like this is some kind of unrelated tech issue that she was having with her eye tracker. Multiple times before she even started her blindfolded attempts, we can see her hitting the Windows key in order to fix something. She even mentioned it earlier in her stream.
We needed to fix the Toby.
I'm confused. Okay.
I think this tech issue has nothing to do with her blindfolded attempts. But an important question to ask is...
I mean, 10 out of 10 making this shit mysterious, not gonna lie. The Windows key! Yeah, okay, how about... It's so... I mean, I kind of like this, you know? CoffeeZilla's probably looking at this and drooling that he could actually make something almost mysterious. That's kind of nice. Then, the Windows key, the first speed, bro. Carl, you need to go like this, okay? So we studied Big Mommy Milkers, and we found many disturbing things about this speedrun. From starting the way she presses the Windows key, to how she suddenly moves her mouse in a 360-degree angle, and then proceeds to do a triple hula hoop. That's from ice skating. Or does that a tulip? Close enough! Anyway, pick one, loser. Oh yeah. This stuff is just wild, but you know, I guess that's okay.
How did she know there was a problem? She was blindfolded and couldn't see, but knew there was some kind of technical issue and always tried to fix it. And she did all of this without looking, and without saying anything to her audience. It's all...
Okay, without saying anything to your audience is the sus part here. The reality is there's probably stuff that you can't actually hear with sound cues, because your character, when they move or do something, there are sound cues. But the fact that she's, you know, just not doing anything, and that is kind of sus. Also, why is she smiling that much? Is she smiling constantly?
How did she know there was a problem? She was blindfolded and couldn't see, but knew there was some kind of technical issue and always tried to fix it. And she did all of this without looking, and without saying anything to her audience. It's all really bizarre.
Okay, so yeah, she knows something's happening, okay? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, god damn it, I forgot, body language, okay? Read books on it, practice it, blah, blah, blah. People smile for a multitude of situations. People smile when they're happy, and people smile when they are caught. People smile when, they are doing bad things. People smile when they are called out. People smile when they are put in bad situations that they feel uncomfortable in. And, well, this is currently just that. She is smiling because she's most likely furry. That would be the most easiest explanation here. Because this should not be happening in her mind. This is something that should not definitely be happening because it's out of lines. And this is something that she expects. That's why I said it's kind of sussy, it's kind of doubtful that the part that she doesn't say anything. Because if this was a normal situation and something happened, she would be like, oh, and there you go. That's literally life. That's how it would go. She would instantaneously say, no, I can't control my character, or something like that. She would say that. So this is something that she has accounted for happening in the first place. That is the only feasible way to describe what body language she is displaying here. She's not panicking at all, by the way. She's not moving her arms more or less or anything. Yeah, this is why body language is actually useful.
In the end, however, after discovering the truth, I realized this was a giant...
And the puckered lips are also a thing. This is when someone is really not happy with what... The puckered lips is typically, pretty much you can associate that with only typically one thing. When something that the person is not like but can't really prevent is happening or happened. That is the puckered lip thing when they do that. It's pretty. There's almost no other scenario where in reality people do the puckered lip things. Usually when someone's talking down on you and you can't say anything back, when you're mad, it's usually something like that.
Red herring. After several days of brainstorming, I was beginning to run out of ideas. But then, in the middle of the night, I revisited a question I had from day one. There was something that Queen Ponsalot did that was really strange, and I couldn't figure it out. Immediately after she covers her main monitor with paper, while she is attempting to distract her viewers, she holds down her left mouse button for 10 seconds. This was actually one of the very first things I noticed when investigating her run, but I never had an answer as to why she did it. Normally, when you hold a button down for a few seconds, it activates something. And this was one of the reasons I thought she was using some kind of software. But I had...
No. Actually, double-clicking activates something typically. You typically just move windows by holding down your mouse. Okay?
Overlooked something that was so obvious and so simple, I can't believe I didn't see it immediately.
This is beyond sus and stupid. Like, look at the situation right here that we're in currently, okay? So, the run is finished. Everything is fine. Why isn't she just instantaneously removing the cover? Okay? Why is she doing stuff like this? It makes no sense. If I would have finished the run, I would instantaneously be like, ta-da! Suck it, losers.
Simple, I can't believe I didn't see it immediately. Once I understood what she was doing, it was game over. Holding her mouse button down for 10 seconds told me everything I needed to know. It unlocked all of her secrets. It revealed to me that there was...
That's how you make suspense, boys. It unlocked every secret. I became the holder of the Infinity Stones. The universe was in my grasp. I, Carl Jobst, have found a secret. And the secret will shock you, which I will reveal in 5 minutes, 30 seconds.
In fact, a third hidden monitor. Queen Pwnsalot wants us to believe...
Okay, I'm not exactly honestly sure. Oh, because she dragged the Monster Hunter yeah, she just dragged the Monster Hunter window. Oh, that dumb animal. You can move windows by being in something, pressing the Windows key and just using the arrow buttons. This doesn't even, by the way, display the arrow buttons and whatnot. Dude, if she did it just like a normal, sophisticated human, not a future OF girl, then she would have gotten scot-free free. Okay, so that's what it is. She has a third monitor, which is the literal easiest explanation that we fucking guessed at the start. Go figure. And then she just dragged the window, and that's it. Yeah, this explains everything.
That she only has 2 monitors. When she covers them up, she makes sure to verbally state that her monitor on the left has all of her other stuff on it.
To the main attraction as we get our duct tape for our main monitor because, yeah.
Yeah.
There's the other one. So you guys know. There it is. With all my other stuff on it. Boom.
This is a lie. In truth, she has a third monitor to her right, off camera. Before she covers it with paper, we can see that her main monitor has her OBS streaming software on it. This shows her gameplay, and it also has her Twitch chat docked into it as well. One thing that struck me as odd is how she decided to wait until her monitors were covered with paper before setting everything up. This makes no logical sense, and she even tries to act like this wasn't on purpose.
No problem. Alright, alright, cool. Now, alright. Oh god, I'm sorry, I didn't think this through.
But the reason she did this is because she had to ensure that what she did was hidden from the camera. This is where the beauty of the input display comes in, because we can still...
I mean, what is she actually doing? What didn't she think through exactly? I kind of don't understand. Doesn't she just need to click on Monster Hunter World and there we go, it's go time, baby?
See everything she's doing, but it's obvious she is trying to hide it. What she does next is very sneaky. She lifts up the paper on her main monitor, which has her OBS on it. She clicks on her OBS window and holds down the mouse key. Then, while she is holding down the mouse button, she distracts her audience with verbal diarrhea.
Oh, that's actually pretty smart if she does that. Actual sophisticated and people who have been scamming a lot usually do that. Impressive!
That's why we go through what we go through, right? You know? And it's the way that it has to be.
Yes.
And,
Yes, Queen.
Next is the key that I should have seen immediately. What is the most common thing you
I have
do
no
when you
idea.
hold down your mouse button? You drag windows. While
Yes.
talking, she drags her
Yes.
OBS to her hidden monitor on the right. We can confirm this with the input display. We can see her hand move it to the right, and she
Yeah.
even looks at her hidden monitor on the right
Oh,
when she
jeez.
does this.
that's why
I mean, dude, having another monitor that you look at isn't that like the most common thing? Like, I don't know I don't know much about stuff like this. I do know some, right? But man, the fact that we could just instantaneously guess that the easy answer is third monitor that no one sees. Wow.
we go through what we go through, right? You know? And it's the way that it has to be. And,
Wow, she is looking at
She will
it
use her
very
OBS
blatantly.
on the hidden monitor to see the game. Immediately after this, she pretends to move the OBS to her left monitor.
alright,
This looks sus though.
move that over. Okay. Sure it's there. Okay. I'm sorry.
She moves her mouse to the left, she looks to the left, and she even says that she's moving something. However, we can
Admittedly, she's not doing too good of a job to convey naturalness in all of this, so it is what it is.
see on the input display she doesn't even click her mouse.
Move that over. Okay.
Now, despite the fact her monitor on the right is supposed to be a secret, she cannot help but stare at it constantly.
Yeah?
She even responds to this exact message in chat while looking at it. However, mid-sentence she realizes how stupid this is and stops talking.
Alright. Oh yeah. Everything will be unedited.
After panicking and
That's
thinking for
kinda
10
funny.
seconds, she tries to fix this mistake and pretends she read the message from the monitor on the left.
Wait, what? But wait, doesn't she have the game on the right? Does she have also the... Wait.
Exact message in chat while looking at it. However, mid-sentence she
I didn't
realizes how
notice that
stupid
she's
this is
looking.
and
Let's
stops
see, let's
talking.
see.
Alright.
Okay, so she's looking... I thought it's just the game, so she has also the chat there? That's kind of strange.
Oh yeah. Everything will be unedited.
After panicking and
I don't know. That's something also you could just random. Okay, there's like a 1% chance that that's something you randomly say.
thinking for 10 seconds, she tries to fix this mistake and pretends she read the message from the monitor on the left.
Oh yeah. Everything will be unedited.
This is so just dumbly confusing, isn't it? Okay.
What was the last thing you said? Unedited.
okay, yeah.
The funny
that's-
thing about Queen Pwn's a lot reading chat from her hidden monitor is that it's completely unnecessary. There is no need to have chat there in the first place, and it just causes her to constantly look at it, making it obvious it's there. And it also causes her to screw up by responding to it. I'm guessing she just couldn't help herself, and she really wanted to see all of her fans talking about her as she was playing. So we know that she has
Obviously.
a monitor to her right, but how does she see it? Well, the secret is in how she's wearing her blindfold. She's wearing it very, very loosely. It's barely able to stay on her face, and on top of that, she wears it very high. This is not how you're supposed to wear a blindfold. Anyone who owns a blindfold like this knows you don't wear them loose, you wear them tight.
Okay, so I have a problem with what he's saying now. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you're wearing it loose. It's, it's still covering up your front. For her to see something, she should have to tilt her head like this, probably, or something like that. Or there could be a mirror. But, wait, would a mirror actually reflect it in the right way? I'm not even sure.
If you wear them
Wouldn't the mirror reflect it the opposite way?
loose, light gets in. By wearing her blindfold loose, she can see through a small gap between her nose and the blindfold. The gamer Juzzy has already replicated her exact setup. In his case, he showed his 2 monitors which he turned off, he wore a proper blindfold, he used the exact same input display, and he had a hand cam. With all of this, he also killed Alatreon in expert fashion.
Oh, wow. Wow, without the comparison, yo, I couldn't even tell, actually. I couldn't tell. I thought it's like, okay, there's no way he's that much. Okay, I guess the gap is huge, huh? Wow.
Here, he explains how he did it.
As you can see now, my monitors are off and I'm blindfolded, but despite my short-sightedness without glasses, I can clearly see these targets and shoot at them. And why is that? It's because there's a secret here. Right now, I'm wearing the blindfold, right? But I can see out the gaps between my nose and my blindfold, and if I wore it even looser, I'd be able to see out the sides left and right in my peripheral vision.
Oh.
Then the next step to the trick is the fact that another thing you guys noticed, there's 2 monitors here, right? But they're not the only ones. There's a 3rd monitor on my left.
Okay. It actually, so if you just see a peep through here and your monitor is like literally right there, yeah, this actually kind of works. I could even fake it like that. Okay, yeah, I see it.
Wearing her blindfold very loosely, Queen Ponzelot also sits back in her chair and looks up in an unnatural way. This is to get a better viewing angle. Before her attempt with the new blindfold, she had spent around 1 to get a better lot. Also sits blindfold over attempt with the new in an unnatural way. Spent around this is to get an hour viewing angle. Her old blindfold her attempt with up in an unnatural way.
Okay, yeah, you cannot explain this. There's no way you explain this, the sitting angle. Because if you can't see anything, you're gonna just sit in the most comfortable position possible. If your eyes are open and you need to look at something, you're probably adjusting to a more uncomfortable position, technically. So there is no way to explain this. Her posture should not be that wildly different.
This is to get a better viewing angle. Before her attempt with the new blindfold, she had spent around 1 hour playing with her old blindfold over multiple days and weeks. And for that entire time, she always sat like this. She was leaning forward and looking directly in front of her. This is because while her blindfold was partially obscuring her sight, she could see straight through it and was looking at the monitor directly in front of her. Okay. With the new blindfold, she can't see through the front of it, which is...
I mean, which angle are we fans of here, boys? I think the left one expresses her personality just a little bit stronger. But the right one is also pretty good because, you know, that's the typical top you usually try to get a peek in, you know, boys? So, I'm not sure. Plus, you know, her lips are red at that one. And, you know, lipstick on the bottom half of a man is pretty good looking, honestly. So, you know, it is what it is, boys. I'm gonna go for left. Pretty decent.
Why she has now completely changed her sitting position so she can see down and to the side. This is not a normal way to sit, and world-class blindfold speedrunner Bubsia confirms that when you see someone sitting in this position, it's a giant red flag.
And if I curve up even more, but that's already looking very sus, I guess, if you sit there like your neck breaking. If I sit like this, for example, I can see half of my monitor.
That's pretty bad posture also, though.
I can see OBS right now, literally. I can see the volume meters going up. I can see the picture. If I turn a bit, I can see the other monitor.
And it's as simple as that. There is a hidden monitor on the right, and she is playing through her OBS, which she discreetly moved to it.
Yeah, I believe all of this, honestly. Yeah, without question, I believe all of this.
I can't believe I spent so much time researching aimbots when the solution was so stupidly basic.
Well, obviously, Coddle, because you're not exactly a socially acclimatized person, you know? Did I even pronounce that correctly? Who knows? In any case, doesn't surprise me that much that Coddle spent days doing something useless because autism is visible on some people.
Basic. And while it's so easy just to say there was a hidden monitor, which some people did,
but I like Coddle's autism. It's like weaponized autism.
It's an entirely different story to provide concrete evidence. The fact
he's like the best of 4chan coming to life.
That we can literally see her move OBS to the hidden screen, the fact that she reads chat from it, the fact that...
Okay, that's just a recap. Anyway, Coddle, good job. Good job. That was Coddle Jobst. My god, this was funny. Mommy Milkers, 10 out of 10 though. OFN. Anyway, this was Quizzer Said. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye bye.